Good evening and welcome to the Public Global. Today we'll be discussing Bangladesh Sheikh Hasina's second warrant has been issued by the Bangladesh government. Bangladesh International Criminal Tribunal, which is called ICT, on Monday issued arrest warrants against the deposed PM Sheikh Hasina and 11 others, including former military generals and an ex-police chief, for their alleged role in incidents of enforced disappearances or killings, political killings. This was the second arrest warrant by the ICT against Hasina, who fled to India after her Awami League regime toppling following unprecedented anti-government protests in August last year. And on the first week of August, she had come to Delhi, and since then she's been staying in India. However, Muhammad Yunus government relations with the Modi government has been very sour, and officially the foreign ministry has said that we will not be speaking to Muhammad Yunus government that because it's an interim government, we'll wait for the elections to be held, and then after the mandate of people, we will talk to Bangladesh. On the other hand, Pakistan has been getting close with Bangladesh at the behest of China. They've ordered free. Made Bangladeshis for Bangladeshis Pakistan visa free. They can travel freely into Pakistan. Pakistan Army and Bangladesh Army are conducting air exercises, naval exercises jointly, and it has never been better for Bangladesh to get close to Pakistan because of China. And China has also helped agitating students in terms of their medical relief. They have provided through ambulances and also allowed injured students to get into China to get treatment. So which means that China and Pakistan is moving very closely together to support Muhammad Yunus internal government so that they can get maximum benefit out of the good offices that they are using to help Muhammad Yunus secure Bangladesh and conduct a second term election. However, Muhammad Yunus has been very close to America because he's the one person who brought in microfinance into Bangladesh, through which he won a Nobel Prize. He's a Nobel literate, and he's also impaneled a high power committee in which he is also going to review the constitution, the rules, and also their electoral rules. So complete overhauling of the Bangladesh democracy is being done at the behest of the Muhammad Yunus government, and he's deployed a lot of intellectuals, journalists, and civil society members to do the needful. It is also believed that maybe Muhammad Yunus would allow the agitating students to form into a political group and form a political party, because that is why he has announced that he'll be reducing the voter age from 18 to 17, and a new electoral roll will also happen. So, which is a very big relief for the students who are agitating, because a lot of things during Sheikh Hasina's government, enforced disappearances, giving away freebies and contracts to to their favored crony capitalists, in which one project, the Goda project, was given at the behest of Modi government when Modi Sarkar, when Mr. Prime Minister Narendra Modi visited Bangladesh, in which he asked the Bangladesh president of the time, Sheikh Hasina, to give the Goda power project to Adani. And then after getting the project, he had given a cost structure. In that cost structure, he had defined the cost per unit, which was relatively high. But that time, the Bangladesh Electricity Board had to approve because Sheikh Hasina had given the instruction. And once they completed $1 billion worth of export of power, suddenly the business went down, they came down. So 1 billion export to Bangladesh of Adani Power unit, Adani Power plant at Koda, what contributed the most. Now government has been forced to amend rules to allow the Adani Group plant to also sell electricity to India, because Adani has a due of $790 million at Bangladesh, and which is a high amount. However, Muhammad Yunus government has said we will do an audit of these accounts, that the due amount may not be so due because you did not define, because as per the contract, when you took your project into an SEZ and the government allowed you certain duty drawbacks and rebates and local GST, tax waivers, you did not incorporate in that tax cost structures, because of which high electricity cost was paid through Bangladesh Electricity Board. Now we are going to review the entire contract and see what is your electricity supply to us, how many units you have sold to us, and how much payment you have got so far, and whether you deserve for additional 790 million payment or not. However, when electricity exports were surging, power accounted for 9.3%, which is over $1 billion of India's total export, which was $11 billion to Bangladesh in 23-24, up from a little over 3% 2 years ago, which was only about 498 million. So Goda plant was instrumental in bringing power export to 10% of our total exports, which is about 11 billion to $1 billion. However, now the uncertainty in Bangladesh over Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina, because she's in India. This is the second warrant that the ICT has issued. New Delhi has recently amended in the month of August, when August first week, 5th or 4th or 5th August, the Sheikh Hasina regime came down, and 12th of August, this order came which allowed, amended the power export rules to de-risk the only plant belonging to the Adani Group. This is the first SEZ in the history of India where only one power plant exists. In fact, two power plants of same capacity of 800 megawatt, combined capacity of 1.6 gigawatt. However, this plant is in Jharkhand, in close to Bangladesh. The PPA for the power supply was signed between Adani Power, as I said, Adani Power Jharkhand Limited, and Bangladesh Power Development Board, which is called as BPDP also. The plant currently was supposed to source coal from the Adani Group mines in Australia, and that coal was supposed to come to the Orissa port, where Adani has its own docking station. From there, it travels 600 kilometers via railroad to Goda plant, from where this coal is burnt and electricity supplied to Bangladesh. Now, all these cost structures for the coal to come from Australia for 6,000 kilometers and 600 kilometers of railroad was incorporated in the cost structures of Bangladesh, for which the Bangladesh government is saying that why are we using Australian coal to supply us electricity with so much of higher cost when you have your mines in Indonesia, or when you have your coal supply from the local plants. Why was Australian coal used and the cost escalated for us? As per the records available with the Kolkata-based Eastern Regional Power Committee, Adani Power Jharkhand Limited Goda plant exported in last year about 7,500 million units of power, which is 63% of total exports, which is about 11,933 million units to Bangladesh in March to April 2023 to 2024. So the entire year, their export was about 7,500 million units. However, in April to June quarter, it came down to 2,000. It came down by 55%, and the net profit of Adani APJ reduced to 3,913 crores compared to 8,759 crores in the corresponding period last year. So their profits just halved. And after August, there has been no supply. There's an audit going on, and Adani now doesn't know what he has to do with the Goda plant, and he had to sell his stake in Adani Wilmar to cover his losses, because a lot of his infrastructure projects are still running, and it is very difficult to manage them. However, in the June quarter, consolidated power sales volume was less, whereas Adani domestically has been selling about 24 billion units domestically through its 7 plants in the country. The move to amend this 2018 Ministry of Power Regulation for import-export cross-border electricity was made through the Memorandum of Understanding on August 12, as I said, which came 1 week less than 1 week after Sheikh Hasina had to fly to New Delhi. Now, Modi's government is not talking to Muhammad Yunus, because Muhammad Yunus wants to audit the Goda power plant. Perhaps that's one of the reason. The second reason is that growing proximity of Muhammad Yunus government now with the Pakistan army and the Pakistan government, where free flow of trade between Bangladesh and Pakistan has been ensured by China, and China's continued intervention in Bangladesh, Sri Lanka, Bhutan, Myanmar, Maldives has basically exposed the failure of Modi government to manage its foreign affairs. And suddenly now, aligning with the American government through Donald Trump, which is who's going to be swearing in on January 20, and taking over the oath of office, Adani's and Modi government's position is a little bit very tricky, because China wants to do grain exchange on a BRICS currency. Russia has been supplying crude. 40% of our crude requirement is supplied through Russia. and China has taken over 38,000 square kilometer of our area and made two counties and taken away Aksai Chin of Ladakh. And previous to that, you saw in lockdown, during lockdown, Depsang, Depchang, and Daulat Begi old that property which belongs to India in Leh and Ladakh. Also in Pangong Lake, where we were forced to move from finger 8 to finger 4. Half of Pangong So Lake is part of China, and half of Pangong So Lake is part of India. So we were asked to give away 4,000 square kilometer of our land during 2020 standoff between India and China. However, Prime Minister Modi at that point of time has said that nobody's entered our territory and whatever information we have is wrong. However, satellite images were published by Washington Post and various other newspapers, and it was very clearly shown that 22 villages have been established in Arunachal by the Chinese government, Xi Jinping government. And also now with these two counties announcement on December 27, it is very difficult for Modi government to explain that how is this de-escalation happening. Now, Mr. Ajit Doval, the NSA is going and meeting his Chinese counterpart. Rajnath Singh, the defense minister, has spoken to his counterpart in China at least two times. 20 rounds of talk have happened, militarily and otherwise. But if this kind of announcement with 38,000 square kilometer of land of our Indian subsoil is taken by China and they are publicly announcing it, it is a very solid state of affairs. Modi government will have to pull up its socks and will have to try and save the sovereignty, land, and increase the he has to push the army, and he has to create a kind of a thing that the army should have enough, you know they should be allowed to restrain China at the borders. Why is that the Indian army has not been instructed by the commander in chief, the president of India, to curtail these kind of takeovers from China? Are we under any pressure from Russia because Russia supplies us crude? Are we under any pressure from US not to accept BRICS currency as a currency for exchange? Or are we under pressure from China for the Belt Road Initiative earlier and now with these two counties? Is China giving a message to India that India foreign policy tilting towards Israel and America, China will not take it lying down? I will leave you at that. And by next Friday, we will have some other discussions. I hope you like our program. Please like, subscribe, and write your comments and how we can make it better. Goodbye for now. Thank you. Bye bye.